Wood Street is a street in the City of London, the history centre and primary financial district of London. Wood Street was originally meant north to south route through the Roman Fort. It is 491 metres long. There are 25 wards in the City of London. Wood Street lay within the wards of Bastion and Chips. Today we start from north of the Wood Street. Where we're standing now, it is the corner of Wood Street and Frost Street. The new building on the corner here, called Roman House, a 90 leasehold luxury apartment. The building beside it is one of the Grade 12 livery company called Salters. Building behind us is Andrew House. On our right hand side is the Poston. All of them is belong to Barbican Estate. Barbican Estate is a permanent example of British Broadleaf architecture, and it is a Grade 2 lease as a whole. There are 3 types of lease building in England. Grade 2 is the highest one. Barbican Estate is an upscale residential of complex, about 2,000 flats, mansionettes and houses, 4,000 residents, which are about half of the population of City of London. It is the European's tallest residential tower when constructed. Also, Barbican Centre, it is the European's largest multi-art and performance centre. Continue towards south, the postmodernist building on top of traffic light, known as Albert Gate. The road close underneath, it is called London Wall, to memory the old London Wall around here. The old London Wall was the defensive wall first built by Roman around Londinium. Londinium is the name of the London in the Roman Britain. The old London Wall was about 2 miles long, enclosing an area about 330 acres. It is the boundary of City of London for more than 1,000 years until the medieval period, but most of them destroyed in the Great Fire of London 1666. The Great Fire started on Pudding Lane. 80% of the London been burned and more than 100,000 people become homeless. By the way, if you turn right here on the junction, will be the Museum of London. After cross traffic light, the tower building on the traffic island in the middle of the road, known as Tower of St Albans. It is a Grade 2 lease building. It originally dedicated to St Albans, the first British Christian martyrs. St Albans was built in medieval origin, rebuilt in 1634 by Inigo Jones, but destroyed in Great Fire of London 1666, then rebuilt again by Sir Christopher Wren in the late Perpendic Gothic style. Unluckily, it was badly damaged by the bombing during the World War II and left only the tower. There are lots of police cars parked around the tower on the road all the time, because on our left hand side is the headquarters of City of London Police. City of London Police is a police force, is a territorial police force responsible for law enforcement within the City of London. Traditionally, police of City of London divided between day and night watches, primarily under 2 sheriffs. Outside the city is a large Metropolitan Police Service, a separate organization. If anyone is a fan of William Shakespeare, there is a bust of Shakespeare in the Aldermanbury Garden, St Mary Aldermanbury Garden, just down the Love Lane on the left. Opposite Love Lane on our right hand side is 100 Wood Street, the home of English Heritage London. Continue towards south, we're going to approach the junction of Wood Street and Gresham Street. On the corner of the junction, it is St Michael's Church. If you look left on the junction here, we could see a church with 9 steeple on it. It's called St Lawrence Drury Church. Behind it is Guildhall and the Police Museum. After cross Gresham Street, both sides of the building on the Wood Street was new built, mainly because the building on the Wood Street before all made by the wood. That's why the name of Wood Street come in. But most of them destroyed in the Great Fire of London 1666. Now we are approaching the south end of the Wu Street. Where we're standing now, it is the corner of Wu Street and Cheapside. Cheapside is one of the medieval London main market street. A fashion building in front of us. It is a major office and retail development called One New Change. If we look left here, if you take a second, look left here, and then a church with a big bell on it. It is called St. Mary Libel. The bell of it is credited to having persuaded Dick Whittington and his cat turn back from Highgate and remain in London, become 4 times Lord Mayor of London. Usually we call people Cockney if they speak posh English like BBC News. According to tradition, Cockney means the people who born within the area can hear the sound from the bell of St. Mary Libel. And then, if you turn right here, will be the world famous St. Paul's Cathedral. Thank you very much for everyone. Hope you enjoyed it.